Hiya, pals! Hi, pals, and welcome to the Disneyland Paris Show. Here's your hosts, Lucy, Chris, and Hugh. And now, Disneyland Paris News. Disneyland Paris continues to expand its digital capabilities, now offering online check-in for all resort hotels.
The project to retheme the studio's tram tour, due to open later this year, has been renamed from Cars Route 66 Road Trip to simply Cars Road Trip.
Disneyland Paris has scheduled Disney's magical fireworks and bonfire for November the 2nd, 4th and 8th, 2021 on Lake Disney.
Hi guys! Do you know, I just have to get this off my chest. I listen to it every week and I forget to mention it. You know our news jingle? There's a little bit at the end where just as it's about to go into the bongs, Hugh goes, news. And it really makes me want to snort laugh every single week. But by the time it's finished off...
That's not me. That is... what's the guy from the day-to-day on Hanrahan? When he goes, news!
News!
Can I check whether people can hear me now? Because apparently my audio is not working.
Oh no, well you better do your bit of news.
Shall I do my news
Chris.
again? I'm going to do my news again, but I need to know that I can be heard now. I know you heard me. We heard each other.
We're in a different feed though, aren't we?
Somebody please tell me that you can hear me and then I'll do my news again. I wonder what's happened there. Yes, we can hear you. Please say yes, you can hear me. I'm guessing you can't hear me.
This happens on
Yes,
CNN
thank you, Mark.
all
Thank
the
you.
time.
Right, here we go. I'm going to do my news bit again. Are you ready? Because it was really good. I gave it my all. A third book in the Disneyland Paris attraction series has been released. Space Mountain, From Earth to the Stars, covers the eponymous attraction and costs €22.
You cranked it up a bit that second time round, Chris.
Sorry about that.
You went a couple of octaves higher then.
Yeah.
It's Peter O'Hanrahan.
Peter O'Hanrahan.
That's the clip. There's a bit where...
It was important we got that right.
There's a sketch on the day-to-day, it might be on Brass Eye as well, and there's this idiot reporter called Peter O'Hanrahan, and he's always winging it, and there's a bit where he says, the anchorman says, Peter, what would it say on your tombstone? And he goes, news. That's that sound effect.
It's very nicely edited on our jingle. I appreciate it, and I've never told you how much I appreciate it.
The first time we ever used it, when Chris dropped it in, he sort of, I think he dipped the sound out just before he said news. So I said, Chris, if you don't mind next time, can you wait until he says news?
There's also, I've kind of had to think a bit more now because the intro music, when I set it up, this is really interesting for everybody, isn't it? But when I set this up and we've been using it for the live shows, it was one track that went right through to the first bong. But since we started doing it differently last week, I now have the intro music, then I have the news, then I have the bong. So I have to remember about that particular piece, which so far I haven't remembered, but I might have just about luckily managed to avoid cocking it up.
Separate bongs.
Separate bongs.
Right, so we've got some pieces of news there. Shall we chat about them? Do we have anyone say hello to in the chat, Hugh, before we carry on?
No.
No.
We do really.
Is it a ghost town down there?
Hannah Marie's here, Andrew Palmer's here, Matt Chester.
It's the gang.
Hi, chaps and chapette.
It's the crew.
It is.
The Disney Street Pals.
Excellent. Yeah. Right, so...
And some more lurking.
Lurkers.
There's always lurkers.
Helen Macro says, good evening.
Hello, Helen.
Actually, she just says evening.
Just evening, not good.
But a kiss, and it is Valentine's Day.
Oh.
So, if there's anything good that's come out of COVID and the related lockdowns, and to be fair, there are quite a few good things, in my opinion, that have come out of them, theme park related. Disneyland Paris getting its poo together with regards to using...
That's the kind of bit that I'd edit out afterwards if it wasn't live.
I use the clean word though. Getting its stuff together when it comes to things that you can do online, on phones and digitally is one thing. It's kind of had its hands forced, hasn't it, Disneyland Paris? It's
Somewhat,
been a decade behind the times already and it's been forced. And the latest one is online check-in, which has been available for so many major hotel chains and things for years and years and years. Disneyland Paris have never done it for whatever reason, but now they're in a situation where they can and they are doing it. And I presume that will take full effect as soon as the hotels are back open again.
They can and they are. They can.
No, Hugh, no.
The differences between this and we've experienced this at Disney World, but the thing is that it's not available for international guests at Disney World because you have to go and pick up your magic bands. Whereas domestic guests at Disney World, they do online check-in. You use your phone. They get sent their magic bands in the post, which international guests don't. And you can also use your phone as your room key because it's got the what's the initial? VR technology, Yeah. The technology I'm on about. I can't remember what the initials are.
NFC?
Yeah, that sounds like it.
Anyway, so they can get into their rooms using their mobile phones or their magic bands if they've been sent them in the post. Unfortunately, because we don't have that at Disneyland Paris, you still have to visit the front desk. But the point is, all your forms will have been filled out. You'll have been issued with a room number. You'll have signed any waivers, etc., etc. You'll have done all that online before you arrive at the desk, and then it's almost like a click and collect thing. Then you just go to the desk, show a number, and get given your room key, and presumably any dining vouchers that you may be owed, although we know they're not selling those at the moment. Have they cancelled people who previously got its plans as well?
No, and like
They're
Magic Breaks, for instance, are still selling packages, but how that works exactly, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
So you still need to go to the desk for that reason. So it hasn't entirely eliminated the check-in procedure, but my goodness, I think it'll cut down the lines anyway. When I went for Run Disney, the thing is with Run Disney, with it being a weekend event, is everyone arrives at within the same 2-hour period for a massive event that all on Friday afternoon. Everyone's arriving, and I think I queued for over an hour for the front desk that time. Now, to be fair, it's never been that bad since, but we usually go straight to the parks anyway, and then go back to the hotel at a more, not at check-in time.
Yeah.
So a less busy time. But that's good. So that's reducing the amount of time you spend queuing and breathing on the receptionists. Which is what it's all about. Nobody wants to breathe on receptionists, do they?
Ooh.
Not again.
No.
Especially not.
You've had warnings, haven't you, Hugh?
Only one warning.
Oh, good. Sorry, warning.
Very stern.
Yes.
And very French. Mark Chester says, an unrelated question.
Yes.
Ooh.
And then nothing.
Does he mean, would you like an unrelated question?
Yeah, he might be asking permission
yes,
for an
please.
unrelated question.
Permission to speak, sir.
Tell me when that unrelated question comes through, Hugh.
Corporal Jones.
Hand over to Chris to enthuse about the next piece of news. I'll just tell you about this book. It is limited edition. It's not available online, but it is expected to stay in stock and be restocked for the foreseeable future. So they're saying it's limited edition, but they're saying, don't worry, it won't sell out.
Good.
Which I suppose is a comfort, because you're going to have to wait for a pal to go over and get it for you, aren't you?
It's certainly seeming that way, yes. Although I did manage to get the Phantom Manor book via Shop Disney eventually.
Did you?
Yeah, so you never know. You never know.
It might
Yeah.
come on.
I mentioned a book a couple of weeks ago to Chris, and I said, I don't tell you about it. I don't want to give anything away because I'll probably get you one. And then he tweeted me saying, "Did you mean this book?" And I'd forgotten about this other conversation, and I was like, "What? What are you talking about?" But no, it's not this book.
Oh.
It's another one.
Ooh. Well, that is exciting.
I've got the unrelated question.
Well,
Go on,
let's
then.
just finish talking about the
Oh.
Okay. I was going to say, let's finish talking about the book. I was just going to hand
the
to
book.
you, Chris, and say you've got the other two in the series. You're a big fan of them. We picked one of them up for you. You got the other one online. So are you going to be buying this? Are you excited about it?
Of course he is. Look at him.
What I'm most excited about is the feel of the book and the smell of it, because both of the other two books have had very distinctive, different smells to them, and they're both textured really nicely. I can already see from the photographs I've seen that this one's got a nice texture to it as well, so I imagine it will also have some kind of smell. Now, what I will also say about
smells, or is it just accidental? Like, does the pirate one?
Yeah, I think it's just accidental. I think possibly
okay.
the Pirates one smelt more French because you guys brought it back from France, and then the other one had been in a warehouse somewhere, possibly.
It's because we bought some baguettes on the way back, and we put it in the same bag.
That's probably it. Yeah,
There's a couple of snails crawling on it as well.
But what I will say about those two books, and I guess this one will be the same, is they're a really nice kind of wander around the history of the ride, which is really good. They're in French and English. English? Yeah, they are in French and English.
You're not even in English.
They're in French and English. However, from what I can gather for the other two books, they are in French and translated into English, because at times the English is a little bit questionable.
Yes.
But
I've got the 25th anniversary book, and it's very similar. They do the paragraph, then they do the paragraph again, in both languages, and there's nothing wrong with the language, it just doesn't scan, and a sentence just feels a bit clunky.
But they're very nice to look at, and they're very nice to have. So in that sense, any of these I would go out and get them anyway, because I'm a fan of the rides, and so it's really cool. Just on that point, by the way, my whole quest to find the Disneyland Paris book, the From Sketch to Reality book, I discovered the other day that they have actually made an ebook of it that is widely available in French and fairly available in English. Now, it costs €20, I think, ish, from the digging that I've done, but it's slightly more up to date than the original book was. So I think I've kind of decided I'm going to make a dive and get that, and then if I find it at a reasonable price at some point in the future, then maybe I'll buy it. There you go.
Would you consider printing it out and putting it in a little binder?
Do you know what? I might just do that.
Slide on the spines.
Oh no, I'd have to get a proper nice cover for it, and then make it scented nice, so it's got a good smell and stuff.
Yeah. Right. The unrelated question from Matt Chester: if we manage to get to stay at DLH in DLP this December, how do we get a part view room?
Oh.
You have to pay extra for them. Isn't it a preferred room?
I think so, yeah.
Is it classed as a preferred room? But you can be very sneaky about room requests. You have to do a bit of digging and research and kind of know what floors and what direction. And if you say something like, is it possible? I don't know what the floors and directions that you'll need, but if it's like, is it possible to have a 5th floor south facing room? Then they might get you a room that isn't in the preferred category, but is as close as damn it, because you've sort of requested that thing. And you can often get rooms that aren't I think your park facing ones, you have to pay extra, but you can get rooms that if you lean around your balcony, you can see the park, but they would never put them in the preferred category because they're not technically, but they're as good as. But you have to kind of know what those rooms are and then ask for them in a rather non-specified way, if you get what I mean. But I'm sorry, I can't help. The best thing to do, I think, is to go on a forum, one of the Facebook forums, any one of them. There's 2 or 3 really good planning forums, and say, has anyone stayed in a room and managed to get a park view? What was your room? And then if they say, oh, ours was on the 3rd floor and it was on the west wing, then ask for a 3rd floor west wing thing.
Would you remember that? Or, they'd have to go and look at their...
Some people really do remember. They'll remember exactly what the room number was.
I don't remember any room number that I've ever stayed in.
No.
Hannah Marie said she thought the DLP hotel was closed this year. Mark saying it's hoping refurbishment will be done by then.
Yeah.
If not, you'll end up in Newport Bay, and it's nice there. It might not be quite what you want, though. That's the only thing.
Yeah, they did originally say, it did say if we get to it in December, they did say it was going to be a 12-month refurbishment, and we don't know when they started the refurbishment because it's technically been closed for nearly a year already, hasn't it? But we don't know when they started it, and we know that it's not been given an opening date yet. They probably won't give an opening date till they are midway through the refurb and they can foresee how long it's going to take.
What they want to do is, like in Return of the Jedi, is get the Emperor down when they're building the second Death Star, and he's like, oh no, they don't get the Emperor down. They get Vader down to sort of get him going. And he says, we're working as hard as we can. The Emperor, he asks too much. And then he says, well, you can tell him yourself because he's coming. And then the guy suddenly goes, efforts will be doubled. And that's what they need here. They need to get the Emperor down, whatever the equivalent is in Disneyland Paris.
Yeah. Scare him into it.
We will double our efforts. That's what he says.
Chapek's coming.
Chapek himself. We will double our efforts.
That would scare anyone there, like Luthor. Okay, so this is one of those stars. It's like nice. The studio's tram tour is no longer going to be called Cars Route 66 Road Trip, which I've seen artwork for. It's now going to simply be called Cars Road Trip. So
does that mean we need to lower our expectations?
It's an unconfirmed rumour, but the suspect that... No, it's not an unconfirmed rumour, it's happening. It's definitely happening. But the rumour is that it's something to do with licensing in Europe.
It's not because at one point it was going to be all flashing, like really reminiscent of Route 66, and then they thought, yeah, we can't do that. It's still just going to be a backlot, so let's take the Route 66 bit out.
Is it because in Star Wars, Order 66 is the Emperor's command to destroy all the Jedi?
Could be.
Execute Order 66.
Emperor on the brain today.
That could be it.
Do it.
Perhaps. So I think that this appears to be nearing completion. There's been lots of... Go on, Hugh, what do you want to say?
It's like when the Emperor... No, I was going to say, it's kind of a shame. I like the Route 66. It just gives it a bit of something. Like, hopefully there'll be signage there, so we'll kind of still be considered Route 66.
The badges as well that we used in the
Cars
artwork.
Road Trip. There's just nothing, is it? Cars Road Trip.
Right, there's another possibility here. There's been a bit of eye rolling for several years about the names of attractions in Disneyland Paris, particularly, and I'll be honest, I can't even remember what its full name is, the Ratatouille Adventure, a Kitchen Catastrophe or something.
Is that what it's called?
It is something like that. I might look on the
Ratatouille ride.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. Isn't it?
Ratatouille, and that time when he fell through a window and went on an adventure being chased by various different people.
Has anyone ever called it
for
other
approximately
than
6
Ratatouille?
minutes?
It's Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, and then there's a colon and there's something else I can't remember. It's ridiculous anyway.
Is it desperately specific?
It is, and also it then needs translating into 2 languages as well, as if it wasn't hard enough.
Ratatouille, l'aventure totalement toqué de Remy.
Right, so that's the French version, and that means
in English that's Ratatouille's crazy adventure. No, it's not. It's Remy's total. Oh, that's close.
Total adventure.
Remy's totally zany adventure.
Wow.
Is that what it is?
Zany. Hey, zany.
I didn't remember that, but it's Ratatouille. You know what I mean? And I just wonder if it's some, customer feedback or some round table somewhere, people have gone, there's too many words. But I actually think Route 66 is a little more catchy than his Totally Zany Adventure, Remy's Ratatouille Totally Zany Adventure.
They'd have been better getting rid of the other bit and keeping Route 66 and just calling it Cars Route 66, surely. That would have
rather
better.
than the road trip. Because you don't need to know it's a road trip, especially if you're sitting in a car going on a trip.
Road trip.
Anyway, who knows why? I hope it doesn't set it back too much with rebranding, because we have already seen the branding for this. But the hope is there's been so much artwork coming out and photographs and construction news. I think this is quite close to opening. I wonder even, this might be me being overly optimistic, if it's going to reopen with the park in April.
Here she goes.
Wouldn't that be good? Is that unlikely? Because they want to draw a crowd for an opening of a new ride, don't
Maybe.
No, not at the moment because of social distancing.
That's what I mean. They don't want to draw a crowd at the moment, so they might not open a new ride because they want to draw a crowd for a ride. Don't know. Right.
The marks are at it in the chat, just to warn you.
Are they?
Yeah, that's Mark Riley's appeared. Confirming the name of the Ratatouille ride.
Oh, good. Good, because we, none of us can enjoy that ride until we get 8 words out of our mouth. Right, the final piece of news, and that is that Disney's Magical Fireworks and Bonfire is scheduled for November the 2nd, 4th, and the 8th of 2021 on Lake Disney. A couple of things here. They think there's going to be fireworks in November, which I am delighted about. Because that would be a crowd pulling thing. I hope they're not going to do. I don't think they could do a socially distanced version of that if it's on Lake Disney, because that's a non-ticketed area of the resort, so they really can't reduce numbers effectively. They can give you spots to stand on, but that would be very hard to police, particularly because it's in a round area. So that's good. They can cancel this at any point. Just because they're advertising it doesn't mean it's 100%. But they're also not pessimistic enough to not organise it, which I think is a good thing. My second thought is, why isn't it on the 5th? It's on the 2nd, the 4th, and the 8th.
Oh, yeah.
I'm presuming this is a nod to the British holiday, 5th of,
Maybe they're so
afraid
of our reverence of such a magnificent day that they thought,
attack.
We couldn't possibly do it on the actual day because no one will be here for that. It'll be empty of Brits because they'll be at home celebrating it because,
It also says there's a bonfire. Does that mean that they're going to have like some kind of big metal float in the middle of Lake Disney that they're going to chuck a load of wood on and set on fire?
I don't know, Chris, and I really wish I'd looked into this a little further before we came on tonight's show, because I think this might be the 3rd one they've done. I know they haven't done it. I know it's not decades long, but they have done a couple before.
You should chuck Pinocchio on. It's like, no, I'm a real boy. I'm a real boy.
And I don't know how they do the bonfire, or whether it's just kind of a nod to the fact that it's bonfire night. No idea. But yeah, it's not on the 5th. I presume that they have to reset because it's the 2nd, the 4th, and the 8th. Maybe it's something to do with certain days of the week and they can't get licensing in the local area.
Could be.
Or maybe they just don't care. They're like, oh, it's close enough. Who cares?
It seems likely.
Hmm.
I do not know what this thing is.
So there's Guy Fawkes turning in his grave going, I got myself beheaded and you guys don't even honour the day. But
was he beheaded?
Was he hung, drawn and quartered?
I don't know.
Man, he was messed up.
You would have thought he'd have been burnt on top of a fire, and that's why we celebrate it in the way we do.
By putting
I don't actually.
By putting a guy on the bonfire.
Yeah.
That's how we celebrate, isn't it? Put a guy on the bonfire.
I'm going to ask Google, how did Guy Fawkes die? How did Guy Fawkes die? Maybe you can tell us in the chat.
So the 2020 ones were cancelled.
Right, yes.
That's my other thing. So they've missed a year for this. But they have officially cancelled a lot of events running up to then, yes?
He was going to be executed opposite the Parliament building, but he fell or jumped from the gallows ladder and died as a result of having broken his neck.
Wow.
I never knew that.
No, a lot did that because I think he was going to be hung, drawn and quartered, which means they cut you down when you're still alive and then give you a gruesome death. But you want to die instantly, don't you? Because it's better. This is fun.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Yeah, Disney chat at its best. So they've cancelled a lot of things officially, such as we talked about last week, the Pride events and the Electroland events, but this one they're storming ahead with. So maybe that gives us an idea for the time frame that they're looking at.
Anna Marie says they had super cheap tickets for the event through the Dutch DLP last time, so don't think it was huge last time they did it.
Oh, but you had tickets, Hannah Marie. You had tickets.
But was it on Lake Disney though?
Interesting. Because I don't know how they would ticket Lake Disney. Anyway. So much for that. Right. I believe we have a question from Bob.
We do. Shall I play it? Are you ready, everybody?
I'd love you to.
I'm going to hope that I press the question, not the answer now. This is technology for you, folks. Here we go.
How pleasant bobbing along.
Hi everybody, Bob here. Before it was released, which film was known in Hollywood as Disney's Folly?
Bob.
I know that.
Yeah, pretty easy one this week, isn't it?
It is.
You're not challenging us, Bob.
Should we have answers in the chat? Or do we wait to hear the answer?
Well, they can put answers in the chat if they like, or they could
Put
play.
answers in the chat.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Hannah Marie says it was on Lake Disney. She didn't know, but she saw them. She saw the tickets were on sale. Non-buyers regret.
I wish I'd looked into this a little more before we came on, because when we've been to a firework event on Lake Disney, it was a free-for-all, wasn't it?
Yes.
It was a hotel residence thing. I think you could go on. If you weren't a hotel resident, there was no one stopping you. It was just to walk up and watch it. Right. So our discussion for this week, just because it's Valentine's Day, we thought we would talk romance and love. Me and Hugh aren't even in the same shot anymore with that.
I can fix that. Hang on, here you go.
We're not even in the same house. Oh, yeah, we are.
Love, look at the two of us. There you go. That's just for you. I'm going back now.
So we want to talk about romantic ways to spend Valentine's, romantic things to do for your loved ones or buy for your loved ones or whatever. And I think we'll just go around the circle and go, any ideas, chaps?
Well, do you want to start then?
I do. First of all...
And then I will just repeat what you said.
Yeah.
But with a dream.
Otherwise you'll have got it wrong.
Like a rubbish Mr. and Mrs.
Right. First of all, I was thinking about this, and I was thinking, which restaurants would you go to? Now, specifically, I wouldn't go to a buffet restaurant. I don't think if you're trying to be romantic, you're trying to butter them up. You want something a little less rowdy and intimate where you don't have to keep leaving each other. So I would recommend the Silver Spur Steakhouse.
Oh, yeah, we like it there.
Yeah, which is table service and premium dining. No characters. I don't think characters are romantic. I don't know about you. I wouldn't recommend character dining.
I mean, it depends, because like if your other half is rather partial to a particular princess, that could be very romantic and selfless of you to invite that particular princess over.
You'd be very secure in yourself, wouldn't you, to invite the princess over? So I'd recommend the Silver Spur Steakhouse, or the creme de la creme used to be Walts Restaurant on Main Street, and you could time your seating there for when the parade went past, and because it's a first floor restaurant, you could watch the parade if you got a view, and I'm sure you could request to be at a table thing there. But Waltz is one of those mysterious happenings at Disneyland Paris, which it closed with no talk of reopening, as did Pizza Planet many years ago. So we don't know if they've abolished it, if they're refurbing it, if it was, if just a change of management. So Waltz has kind of gone, it's been cupboarded at the moment. But my recommendation for food would be either the Silver Spur Steakhouse or Waltz.
I would do a buffet.
Would you?
No, I wouldn't. She said you said buffet. Well, I was originally thinking, I was with Matt Chester in the chat has said Captain Jack's because of the moody lighting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I'd be happy if I was taken there.
But then also, I don't really like fish, so maybe I'd go to the Agra Bar because then you'd have something interesting to talk about with the, the interesting foods. You go on a bit of a food adventure together, like, oh, this is interesting, try this. That kind of vibe.
Nice.
I think another good thing about the Agrabah is because of its layout, it's like a load of little tunnels and alleys. You're fairly private.
Yeah, you do get some nice little private areas. Yeah, I love it.
You've always got an alcove or something, haven't you? So you're never in this big rowdy kids running around screaming restaurant. So I agree, Agrabah's a good choice.
Me and Hugh were going there.
Towards Captain Jack's now, though. I'd forgotten about Captain Jack's.
When we all go together at some point, me and Hugh are going to Agrabah.
That's fine. I'm a little unadventurous with that kind of food, but I'm okay if I know exactly what's in it.
Yeah.
But when you're going to a buffet, you don't know exactly what's in it, and sometimes there's just some spicy slop, and you're there going.
I'm quite fussy, but I do love a spicy slop. Don't I, darling?
So
that's what he wrote in his Valentines card this morning.
To my spicy slop.
It tastes just as good going back out as you did going in.
God. Chris, any thoughts on food? What would you do?
Well, okay, let me just set the scene for you, right? Because it's February, still a bit chilly. You're out for a nice walk down Main Street. You've had a really lovely day, and you need a wee, basically. You need to go to the toilet, but you can hold it for a few more minutes, but she can't. So you say, you go to the toilet, go to the one in the Liberty Arcade, and I'll go get us a table, love. I'll go get us a table. And you go, like anybody would, straight into Casey's corner. You queue for 25 minutes. And when you get to the front, you wait for another 5 minutes while the person in front orders 3 coffees. And they get made one at a time. Eventually, you finally get there. And you order your own coffee. So there's another couple of minutes to wait for that. And you get your food. And you go back out into the Liberty Arcade where there's a couple of tables just positioned there nicely. And your other half hasn't managed to get one because it's really busy, so you're just going to have to eat them as you walk. But you hand it over and go, there you go, love. Have a bite of my wiener. What's more romantic than that?
Chris, that's really beautiful. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Really beautiful.
Or, and this is the other option, you go to the Silver Spur, which is really nice, and have a nice, weighted meal.
I'll go to Bella Notte and get spaghetti.
Yeah, it's a bit messy that though, isn't it? It's a lovely idea, that whole sucking spaghetti, but it's a bit messy, and COVID era and all that sort of stuff. Probably not advisable to be snogging over pasta.
Well, you're on a date.
Yeah,
you can't be 2 meters all night.
And also, actually, the big benefit of Bella Notte is you're literally across the road from Small World, which means you can go and have a nice romantic boat trip afterwards.
Well, is that the next part? What's the most romantic ride?
To be honest, these categories are just floating around. It can be anything you wanted to do romantic. But the next thing I was thinking is still kind of food and drink related. Is
get battered.
I would. Well, yeah.
So that he's putty in your hands.
Because I have never had a glotini, and it has been on my list.
Still.
I still haven't had one. It's literally been on my list every time we've gone for the last 5 or 6 times. Mm-hmm. And glotini is just a martini with a glowing ice cube in it, but it just looks
a bit of plastic with a battery in it.
Yeah, but it just looks really exciting and fun and novel and all that kind of thing. The reason is, just to go a little personal on this, is I don't really drink much anymore, and I don't not drink, but I just don't drink particularly. And I always like the idea of a glotini, but when it comes to it and I'm tired and it's all this, I just don't fancy one. I just think it'd send me under.
Yeah.
Because it's a theme park day is a hard day. However, if it was Valentine's Day and you were there to spend time together and there was romance in the air, I think taking a good sort of hour in the middle of the day to go up to Cafe Fantasia, which is in the Disneyland Hotel, that's got a beautiful bar that overlooks Town Square, and sit there with either a glotini or a hot chocolate, depending on the day. I think that would be a really nice thing to do.
So is that the next thing? Drink?
Doesn't have to be.
Well, I want, because you mentioned rides and stuff, what I'd like to do then, right? So let's just say we've finished eating our wieners and chips and that, right? And then I'd be over to Laura, go, hey Laura, voulez-vous une promenade avec moi? And she'd be like, yeah, all right then. And I go, right, let's go up Aladdin's Passage. And then we go up Aladdin's Passage. Cause it's just a nice little walk. It's a nice little walk.
Is this because Mark Riley?
Yeah, a little bit.
Romantic Northern French talking.
Yeah. I thought I'd try and get it in there, just a bit of it.
Oh dear.
Or if, like Anna, she said, I want you to take me up the North Mountain
Right
now.
So I go, well, I'm sorry, but I'm not prepared to go that far, but how about we go up Aladdin's Passage instead?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's fair, isn't it?
She is a lucky, lucky girl.
Yeah. I think so.
You know what I'd do? I'd go for a walk around Adventureland at dusk, just as the lights are coming on.
Oh yeah.
Nice. With a bit of fog as well, a little bit of mist.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be lovely. You've got this, you see. I'm not a big Valentine's Day person, so you obviously understand about romance and stuff, whereas I'm a bit of a novice, I think I know what women want. I obviously don't.
It's a bit fun as well. Like,
you are all women want. You don't need to know on.
She might say, do you want to explore a cave? And we'd have a good laugh at that. We'd have a little giggle. Like, chance would be a fine thing.
Joking aside, when we went sort of the height of summer, we went July, so the sun wasn't going down till nearly, like 9:30, the sun went down. Instead of waiting for the fireworks, everybody else in the world seemed to be stood in the hub waiting for fireworks. We went round Adventureland. There was nearly nobody else there. It was the most gorgeous dusk. It was the most gorgeous temperature. This wouldn't work in February. But because everyone else was waiting for the fireworks, the land was about to close. Wasn't that's one of my favourite memories of Disneyland Paris.
Can't remember.
What?
I'm joking.
Oh,
Andrew Palmer said that the booths in the cable car bake shop are romantic, and I was thinking that too, actually.
Oh, yeah.
The only thing about that is the booths are nice, but there's kind of there's the booths, and then there's like kind of a big open bit that makes me kind of feel like I'm sat in like a bit of like a corridor or something. There's a big open bit like near the counters. I don't like the open bit, so get up towards the back near the arcade.
Towards the back, you wouldn't feel that open.
Bit more tucked away, it'd be nice in there.
Well,
Mark Riley's actually saying we're very much aligned with the dedicated DLP's recent Valentine's Day recommendations.
Oh, are
there we go. Aladdin's Back Passage and Casey's Corner for the win.
Yeah. Right.
Do you know what I'd do next? Can I tell you what I'd do next? Can I tell you? Right. Laura is really keen on the on Merlin's wands, so I think we'd go up to the castle, and I'd go and get her one of those wands and let her choose it. There you go. Nothing smutty. Nothing smutty. Honestly.
Oh, okay. As soon as you said wand, my mind was.
And then I give it to her and I go, here, have a lick on this, love. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't at all.
That's a really lovely gift, and
I think so.
General recommendation. I think going for a Valentine's gift, that would be a good shop to go to. It's the is that the Erebus Brothers? Because they do the boutique on Main Street as well. They're both Erebus Brothers, but there's glass blowing involved.
There is.
Here's a good date activity. Get on Buzz. It's a bit competitive. It's fun.
Yes.
Because the thing is about romance, it's not all about going, ooh, ah. It's about having fun together.
Yes,
and a good
agreed.
Giggle, and a good giggle.
I agree.
Shooting some aliens and going, oh, you beat me.
Here's another one. If you like, because a lot of the rides that you could go on are very, very communal. Small World and Pirates, etc. But get yourself on a Doom buggy. Get yourself in Phantom Manor. You're in a shell. Completely private. Could have a little snog.
Oh, interesting. Especially when it breaks down.
Oh,
or if you can give up, if you can forego your nose picking, you can have a cheeky snog.
As long as it's not opposite that demon dog.
Do need that bit in between Madame Leota and the dining room. That really dark bit. It's a great place to clean your nasal passages.
Yep.
Or have a snog.
You know, boys, when I suggested a Valentine's special, this wasn't the kind of chat I had in mind.
No, but if the lights came on and she was like, what are you doing? You could go, I pick you. And then you just wipe it on her.
On the side of her face.
Say it'd be me you go with it this way.
I've got another good one, Lucy. I've got another really good one. Right.
Oh, well, I was just going to offer one and then I'll
go on. Go.
over.
You go.
A nice leisurely trip on the Molly Brown and get up top deck and get round the back, but not near the horn, because that is ridiculously loud.
Lucy,
You're allowed around the
our
back,
minds are.
but you're not allowed the horn.
Don't say the word horn.
You can go around the back though.
Is this on Valentine's Day or just a romantic day?
Just any romantic day, because
Okay.
it might be someone's anniversary.
Oh, I won't go down the
I might be
Aladdins Passage if
working
it
up
wasn't a special day.
to proposing. Go on, Chris.
Autopia. Go and be James Dean in a car, arm round like that. Hey,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Because actually, especially when it's getting dark, it's lovely going on Autopia when it's dark.
It is.
Just not when you've got two screaming kids sat next to you. But I imagine it
Yeah.
could be quite romantic, you know? Ooh, bit of passion in a car. And
That
also,
feels like
if you want, you don't have
something-
to steer. You could just kiss all the way around.
That feels like something a young Instagram couple might do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can just imagine it, especially around sunset.
Do you know, we should do a list of Twilight rides. There are certain rides that are best at Twilight, and I think Autopia would be one of them. I'm thinking, because I know a lot of people propose at Disneyland and Disney World. I just want to share a story from Susie. I don't know if I've mentioned it. She vlogs when she goes, and she was once vlogging and walking along, and she just walked between a man on his knees and a woman getting proposed to during her vlog, and she was so engrossed in what she was doing she didn't even realise.
She cited that as her most embarrassing Disney memory
yes,
when we
she
did the competition.
did.
And she sent me the audio at the same time as well to say, here, listen to this. You can hear it happening.
Brilliant.
And I've done the same.
Brilliant.
And Lucy had to tell me, she said, you just walked through a proposal. I walked right through the middle of
Yeah.
it as the friend was recording it. And actually, I kind of shrugged, like, I got a bit defensive and I went, well, I didn't know. I didn't go, oh, no, did I? Oh, dear, I'm sorry. I just went, well, I didn't know. I had
So
no
I
idea.
think one thing, and it's too late for any of us three because we've already done it, but I think if you're young and free, to propose in Disneyland is a beautiful thing. It's a lovely place. It's
Unless you're
lovely.
Melanie Ravens would because then like, she does it relentlessly and never gets anywhere, does she? Bless her.
You're in the camp of bit obvious, aren't you? With that one.
No, I don't
I'm
know. No, I don't want to badmouth anyone who's going to watch this and plans to do that. But
I think
it's not for me. It's not the obviousness. It's just I would feel a bit. I would be uncomfortable doing it, especially when there's loads of people around as well. I wouldn't like that.
Okay, well, how's this one? I've heard this. I'm stealing this, but I do think it's a good idea, and I like it. Somebody can't go on a ride, or you make an excuse to go on a ride and say, okay, just wait for me by the photo booth, and then you go on Pirates and you hold up a sign, will you marry me, at the photo point, or you do it behind the head and they don't see it, and then when you go and look for your photo, there's a proposal there.
Don't you
Would
feel
that be a good proposal?
Don't you feel really sorry for everybody else who's on that boat?
I don't actually, because if I was on that boat and that happened, I would totally buy that photo and I'd be like, look, we're a proposal. We're part of those people's lives.
I'd Photoshop it so it said, I know what you did. I know what you did.
Oh, God.
Mark's wife said the show's taking a weird turn.
Yeah,
But
sorry
then Mark
about that.
Riley says, I really don't know why you don't have 100 subscribers yet. And I don't know either.
Is that his passive-aggressive way of saying, keep on track, guys, keep on track?
Reeling them back in.
Oh, dear. Right. Secret spots. Are there any nice secret spots that you might take your loved one?
Why?
Just to be peaceful and quiet.
Stand in silence.
I was thinking a trip on the Disneyland Paris Railway could be a nice 25 minutes. You know, particularly now with social distancing, you can get a car to yourself, stare out the window, hold hands.
If they're annoying you, you could go into the maze and like lose them.
Ooh.
Yes.
What about like the toilets around the back of Toad Hall? Because they're always really quiet.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Sorry. I'm sorry. We'll be better next week, I promise. Well,
We will.
It's fine. I feel you two are just like you can't find the romance. And
We said some romantic things. We went for a walk around Adventureland at dusk.
Yeah, that was good.
Went on Autopia.
That was lovely.
Yeah.
That was lovely. Well done. Scoopy snacks all round.
We just exciting Agrabah meal.
Yeah. And plan for the future as well, Hugh.
What more do you want, woman?
Yeah.
Right.
We do have shows like this every now and again, though, don't we? Let's be honest. Every now and again, we have shows.
I feel like rides like Orbitron are kind of, that sort of classic fairground romantic couple.
Oh, Dumbo, yeah. The teacups. Yeah,
Carousel, holding hands across horses.
Yeah, and if you're wearing them
3 times around.
you've eaten candy floss or something.
Yeah. I mean, they're the obvious choices, aren't they? Yeah.
I think we all just live romance through Instagram these days. So when you do think of a romantic moment, you're thinking of the shot with the filter, aren't you? X Pro 2 on.
I think of Naked Gun when they go on that date. Woke up this morning feeling fine. Remember?
Yeah. Okay. And finally, let's go on to our and finally. Chris, that's the photo cue.
Oh, is it indeed? Look, let's see if this works. Are you ready?
Yep. Woo! Yay! What you can see there going down the motorway. What's the French word for motorway? I should know this. We've driven on it enough times. That's not Autobahn. It's not Autobahn because that's German.
So we've got a couple of questions.
Okay.
We'll come back to them.
Okay.
What we're looking at?
Right. That is the turrets off the castle being taken away down the motorway on the back of a flatbed.
I wonder what this was, right? Listeners, Lucy sent us a picture today to use as the background on the video version of the show that you were listening to and not seeing, which you should be, think on because you can't see. So I wonder what this was. So they're taking the turrets of the castle down the motorway.
Yeah, to fix and repair. I thought this has appeared on several Disney accounts. And I thought that it was for some reason, the hat off the Art of Animation.
No.
Well, I thought in sections it was, and then I realised it was the turrets.
Mm-hmm.
So how bizarre is that to see? But that does mean a quite major renovation. And my hope that they could rush it through as quick as possible is looking dark and dim at the moment. But yeah, I just thought that would be a cute little and finally story.
I just realised I didn't have a microphone switched on in that picture for me, so anything I said wouldn't have been heard anyway, so it's a good job I didn't really say anything.
All right. Do you have anything you want to say?
No.
Let's go on to listener questions. Listener viewer questions.
But there's a couple of things. Mark Riley says, should proposals be banned?
Oh, interesting.
Well, he first said, should vlogging be banned?
Oh.
No,
because we're addicted to watching Disney vloggers.
We are, but you know what? I like to watch a Walt Disney World vlog, but when they get together, there's a few vloggers will go on like a day out together. It's really, really weird because
icky.
In the background of each vlogger's video are like 3 people photographing the food, all vlogging, and like none of them are really properly interacting with each other. Well, they do interact, but at any given point, there's someone just walking around with a camera, and it's suddenly like it shows you how weird it is.
Mm-hmm.
When it's just someone looking into the camera and you're watching them, that's fine. But when you can see 3 other ones in the background all doing the same thing, I just think this is so odd. Yeah. Anyway, but I don't think it should be banned.
It isn't. It's a really interesting discussion though, because they've banned things like extension poles for selfies. It will be very hard for them to differentiate between someone just making a holiday video or FaceTiming the friend and going, look, I'm in Disneyland, and a vlogger, in the moment that they see it. But also, Disney get an awful lot of free publicity out of vloggers.
Oh yeah, and it's very useful.
Yeah.
If you're planning on going.
It is. I can see how it can be slightly disruptive to certain guests, but I think that the pros for everybody, including the guests, far outweigh the cons. If you do want to do a bit of research on your hotel, certain restaurants and meals and so on.
Hannah Marie says Anna Marie says, I'd much rather have an engagement photo shoot. Imagine having post-ride hair. But Andrew Palmer asks the question, where is the best place to buy jewellery?
Ooh.
I bought jewellery once, and that was from the whatever shop has got the beanstalk outside.
Yeah.
Because I met Lucy and Bonnie, and then as we were stood there, because I bought a Christmas present, and as I was stood there watching the show in front of the castle, I thought, I think I've got the wrong colour. So I went, I'll be back in a minute, and I just had to go all the way back to swap the colour in my best French.
It's the best place to buy jewellery. I'm obsessed with I say cheap, it's not dirt cheap. It is like £20 for a necklace, but it's on your stands, it's on your little carousels, and they're in most of the major gift shops. You can find these carousels in the Emporium, in Sir Mickey's, in World of Disney and things like that. For your slightly more expensive, you've got two options. You've got Merlin's in the castle that sell, well, that's where you would find, you know, the Swarovski crystal and sculptured castles for like £900 and stuff, and £3,000, and you know, all that massive stuff. But if you want some proper diamond earrings and elaborate things that are more like €200, that's where you get those. And also, and it's the second time I've mentioned it, and I know exactly where it is, that shop that's halfway down Main Street that sells pins and books and artwork, but it also has your jewellery, and I can't remember, that might be, no, not Lily's Boutique, 'cause that's the homeware one, but halfway down Main Street, and I'm sorry I can't think of it.
I'm not good with shops at all at DLP.
No, I'm not
good with the shops.
Why are you asking, Andrew? Are you going to buy us a little present each?
Oh, that's nice of you, Andrew.
So that's the answer to where's best to buy jewellery.
A lavalier would be nice, thank you. Mark Riley, in reference to the picture of the turrets on the back of that truck, he thinks they're part of Madonna's new costume.
Well, if she's put on lockdown weight the way I have, she'll need something that big.
I don't imagine she'll be standing up with them on, though, do you? What do you reckon? Play havoc with her back.
She does a lot of yoga. She's very strong.
He also adds that on his vlogging, don't you ruin your own experience when you're vlogging. You're not really there. You can do. If
I'll be honest. I do find that I really enjoy vlogging, and I really enjoy watching the vlogs back, but it does interrupt the family holiday. And particularly from Bonnie's point of view, I do spend a lot of time going, hang on. Well, we're at Disneyland. Now I want to vlog when we go to Florida, and there's particular things I do want to vlog, but I've kind of decided in my own head that I'll limit it to those one things. Like if I decide I'm going to vlog a restaurant, I'll vlog that restaurant, but then I won't vlog for the rest of the day. But these people who vlog all day, I think that they are childless, or they're on their own a lot of the time. But I just don't think it's fair on the people you're with if you do a dawn till dusk vlog. So what I'll probably do, I did it last time because it was reopening after COVID, and I felt that it was...
And Bonnie was vlogging as well.
And Bonnie was vlogging.
with a kiddie zoom.
For a birthday. Yeah, for a
little kiddie zoom,
zoom. But yeah, I think what we'll do in the future is we'll decide to vlog small pockets, and we'll vlog that small pocket and then not do it for the rest of the day. I do agree it can ruin your day, but I'm terrible at social media, and I know a lot of people who live tweet, or they're uploading pictures to Facebook or Instagram as they're there. I couldn't be bothered doing that. I don't want to look at my phone. That's what it is. That would ruin my day, having to look at my phone all day. Looking at your camera, well, I use my phone as my camera, but it's different. And then putting your camera in your bag, I feel is a little more social. It's each to their own, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Any more thoughts, or should we have Bob's question?
Let's have Bob's answer. Are you ready for it?
Okay.
Here goes Bob.
The answer was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. The critics were absolutely certain nobody would want to sit through over an hour of cartoons.
With Bob Sangwell on 37 Disney Street. Bob.
There we go.
And he said dwarfs.
Of course he did.
Yes.
Because he
Because
knows.
he's a pro.
He knows.
He's
Exactly.
a pro.
Hannah Marie got that right. Someone one of the marks said it was that or Fantasia.
Mm-hmm.
So no points for you.
All right, guys, that about wraps us up for this week. I want to give my usual housekeeping shout outs. We're about to film and record another 37 Quisney Street episode. It's the third one in this series. Currently, Hugh is ahead. This is the first time this has ever happened. He managed to creep ahead last
I had a
week.
great round on my new board. Just keep winning, just keep winning.
So we're going to see if Chris can claw back his lead that he's held on to for like 12 episodes now. See if he can claw that back.
Oh, I just want to say for the listeners, the audio listeners, I held up my whiteboard, which is a dory-shaped thing. It's magnificent. You should see it.
And that will be released on Wednesday. We've got a classic show next week, which will be Chicken Little. You can like and subscribe on YouTube. You can subscribe on iTunes. If you want to leave us reviews, that always helps us on iTunes. Or like, subscribe, bell notifications on YouTube. We also have Patreon, if anyone would like to support the channel and the small costs that we do incur bringing this to you on a weekly basis.
I think Chris wanted to say something.
Okay.
Yeah, just on the video front, I posted a new book review last week of the maps of the Disney parks, and I have a copy still in cellophane to give away. And all you have to do is answer the question on it, which is what song from a Disney film Lucas was talking about that YouTube then translated into somebody's name. And just even if you see the comments in the chat and you know what the answer is, just post it in the comments for that video, because I'm going to pick everyone's names and stick it on one of those wheels on the internet that goes like this, and then it picks someone out and it says who's won. So if you want to...
stumped us, that question. We couldn't get it, could we? We were like,
Sarah
what's he
talking
about?
Sarah Tahira.
Sarah Tahira.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So go and watch that video on our YouTube channel, another book review. Also, Hugh put up the Legend of Phantom Manor, didn't you? Which is...
I've been meaning to do that for ages.
Little novelty video.
And I had to put it together on my phone because I was on my work Mac and they've taken iMovie offers, so I couldn't do that at lunch. And I couldn't be bothered turning my laptop on. So I did it on my phone, which took so much longer. There you go.
It's a great story.
It's
still a good story, just as good as when you told me it the other day.
Oh, I told you it in great technical detail.
Really
I thought, he'll like this.
So thank you all for tuning in for another week. Thank you for joining us if you've joined us live and in the live chats. If not, why not join us? We're at 8:30 every Sunday night. I've been Lucy. You've been great. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Au revoir.
Hiya, pals. Hi, pals.
That's the wrong one
Welcome to
again.
the
I don't
Disneyland
believe this.
Paris
I'm just
Show.
going to pretend it's
Here's
not
your
and move on.
hosts, Lucy,
See you later,
Chris,
everybody.
and Hugh.